Elysium hits theaters August 7th. What happens if it's a box office hit or makes jack? It's time to theorize and kind of preview review. I review movie previews. What's up, movie world? In the past, I believed that buying a ticket at the movie theater was like casting a vote. If a movie made a lot of money, it was like we, the audience, were telling Hollywood, make more films like this. I still believe that our box office votes have power, but not in defining a genre, more in defining a franchise or a director. When Avatar was released, I thought that since it wasn't based on any already existing in another medium source material, if you don't count, as South Park pointed out, Dances with Wolves and the Smurfs, that it making $2 billion worldwide meant that movies would now become more original. Or when Inception made $800 million worldwide, I thought, great. An intelligent, challenging film succeeded. Now this means that we're going to get more stories like it. I was wrong. Very, 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 very wrong. What happens nowadays when a risky, original, or non-adapted from a popular story in another medium succeeds is that first, the filmmaker gets to keep his or her job. After the successes of Avatar and Inception, James Cameron and Christopher Nolan retained their carte blanche privileges and were allowed to do whatever they wanted for their next projects. For us, this is great. We like them as filmmakers and we want to see more of their work. The second result is that this box office creates a franchise. By supporting Avatar, we didn't help other avatars get made. We helped more avatars get made. James Cameron is currently preparing parts 2, 3, and 4. So the questions we have to ask before seeing this movie are, do we want to see more Neil Blomkamp projects? And do we want more Elysiums in the future? 4 years ago, when District 9 became a surprise hit, we all thought, great, Hollywood is going to give us more inspired creative projects. Not even close. Instead, we allowed Neil to continue his career, which has led him to making Elysium, and open up the possibility for a District 9 sequel or TV series. Both very positive things, if Blomkamp's involved in the sequel or TV show. Here, Blomkamp has given us something inspired, original, and creative. While admittedly it is an archetypical story of a warrior storming the castle. It's kind of like Escape from New York. It's got some Star Wars in it, a little Seven Samurai, and that recent film Lockout. It has resemblances to 100 other films where characters must break into the impossible to break into location. There's even a little bit of Pixar's Wall-E. Earth is a disaster zone, and all the elites live aboard a spaceship where they're on continuous pleasurable vacation. It's actually kind of like the Cloudminders, episode 21 from season 3 of the original Star Trek series. For more information on that, see the link in the description area. Similarities like this happen all the time. It's inevitable that the more stories we watch and read, the more connections we're going to draw. But here is when the artistic inspiration comes in. During his 2009 audio commentary for the District 9 DVD, around the 46-minute mark, Blomkamp said the following: I fear that Johannesburg represents the future of the planet. I think that's where we are going with the lack of resources and overpopulation. And it's the elite getting richer and richer and the masses getting poorer and poorer, until finally you end up in a place where you have a city or a country where you've got 5% of the population controlling all the wealth and everyone else lives in abject poverty. There's going to be more and more people on Earth, and there are going to be less resources, and the rich are going to protect what they have. For an interesting comic book that happens to be dealing with these exact issues, check out Image Comics' Lazarus. The good news for us, the creatively starved audience, is that Elysium wasn't born in a boardroom or Frankenstein by a marketing department. It was captured from the zeitgeist by an artist. The muse whispered in Neil's ear, and he creatively responded. This is a science fiction story that uses the genre's tools in the most optimal way, takes current issues and sets them in the future so as to distance and veil them, just enough so they can be explored without we, the audience, getting defensive. This takes the 99 versus the 1%, Wall Street versus Main Street, and kind of makes it into Occupy Elysium. It's what Star Trek did in the 1960s, make the Russians the Klingons. But most importantly, the series made it all fun and engaging, kind of like what one of my favorite filmmakers, Andrew Niccol, did with Gattaca and Lord of War, but failed to do with In Time. Do those living aboard Elysium represent the billionaires of 2013? Will Hollywood take a chance and allow Elysium to layer that into the story? Or will it be stripped down to bare-bones CGI wonder and action thrills? The previews for Elysium are selling it as an ass-kicking sci-fi action movie. It's not sharing or selling any of the smarts, heart, and art that Blomkamp no doubtedly wanted to include. Most likely, all of that is still in this movie. It's just that Hollywood doesn't want to take the risk in alienating even one potential box office dollar by advertising it as something too deep. Cyberpunk's stripped-down power loader from Alien's superhero suit is pretty interesting and has potential. Jodie Foster playing the villain is great against the grain casting, and the possibility of where this goes and how it ends has my curiosity. If it makes a ton of money, Blomkamp gets to make another movie and we potentially get a District 9 or Elysium sequel, or prequel. If it fails, it might mean that this director has to take some projects just to stay alive in the business. A fate Andrew Niccol experienced after the failure of In Time, when he was most likely, and hopefully if we still want to have respect for him, forced by his agents and managers to direct the adaptation of Stephenie Meyer's The Host. Then again, I guess if this fails and Blomkamp wants to keep his dignity, there's always Netflix or HBO. He can go small screen. But if we want to keep Blomkamp on the big screen, we have to support this movie. If we want to see his work franchised, we have to support this film. If we don't, then he'll live on independently. If that happens, then the bright light, which projects our dreams and hopes and creativity and inspiration on the big screen, will have become a little dimmer. Thankfully, he's an artist with filmmaking passion and something to say, so potential box office failure for this won't stop him. We'll still have his stories, but we'll have to be active in seeking them out. I'm definitely going to be there opening night. How about you, movie lovers? Do you plan on seeing Elysium? Why or why not? Leave your thoughts in the comments section. And what do you think about the film theory we just discussed? That in today's Hollywood, the voting power of our movie dollars creates franchises and prolongs directing careers more than they do in fostering originality, creativity, and inspiration throughout Hollywood. If you've enjoyed this video, then make sure to subscribe, follow, comment, share, and like. Now, usually I sign off with a catchphrase, and in the previous film theory video, I mentioned that I'm getting rid of the old one, which was, remember to choose your movies wisely because we get more of what we pay for. So if we don't want let's not pay for As we discussed, it kind of doesn't really apply to the bigger picture. So here are some potential catchphrases I'd like you to vote on. Remember to choose your movies wisely because someone's job is at stake. Until next time, I'm the movie preview critic. Don't say I didn't warn you, because I know what the I'm talking about. Until next time, watch, think, learn, and grow. It's the only way to survive the movie apocalypse. For now, I'm sticking with a classic. Until next time, long live good movies.